Don't let someone be your priority if you are only their option. Value yourself enough to know when to walk away from those who don't appreciate your presence. Building meaningful relationships is an essential part of human experience, but unfortunately, not all connections are built on trust and genuine care. Some individuals may enter your life with ulterior motives, using you for their own gain, without any regard for your well-being. Recognizing the signs of such toxic relationships is crucial for maintaining your emotional health and overall happiness. In this video, we will explore 10 key attributes of a person who only uses you and does not genuinely care for you. If you are here on this channel, it indicates that you are interested in personal development and building a resilient self. Before we start, I will ask you to watch this video till the end, as all the content is important. Be strong and stay focused. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Manipulative behavior. Manipulative behavior is like being in a game where the rules keep changing and you feel like you're constantly being tricked or deceived. It involves someone using cunning tactics to control or influence you for their own benefit, often without considering how it might affect you. Picture a friend who always seems to have an agenda or tries to make you do things that may not be in your best interest. That's manipulative behavior. It can involve guilt tripping, emotional manipulation, or using charm to get what they want. As Paulo Coelho wisely said, manipulators will always use a shortcut if they know it's effective. This quote captures the essence of manipulative behavior, the use of shortcuts, often deceptive, to achieve their goals. In relationships, it's important to be aware of these tactics to maintain trust and authenticity. 9. Frequent criticism. Constant criticism is like a corrosive wind, eroding the foundations of confidence, trust, and growth within any relationship. It has the power to wither the most resilient spirit and dim the brightest potential. Someone who readily criticizes without offering constructive feedback or positive reinforcement doesn't fit the mold of a true friend. Envision sharing your successes or challenges only to be met with a barrage of negative comments instead of the support you hoped for. This is what we mean by frequent criticism. It suggests that the person is more prone to pointing out your perceived shortcomings rather than uplifting you. It's akin to cultivating personal growth in a garden where the soil is consistently being depleted, hindering your potential to flourish. 8. Lack of empathy. The so-called friends who fail to understand, share, or genuinely connect with your emotions and feelings often lack genuine empathy. They may not show concern for your feelings, problems, or achievements, as their focus is solely on their own needs and desires. This lack of empathy can lead to a sense of emotional distance in the friendship and may make the affected friend feel unheard or unsupported. A healthy friendship typically involves mutual empathy, where friends can relate to and validate each other's emotions, fostering a deeper and more meaningful connection. A lack of empathy in a person is like talking to a wall. They might hear you, but they don't really understand or care about what you're going through. Imagine sharing your feelings or problems with someone, and instead of getting support or understanding, they seem indifferent or uninterested. That's a lack of empathy. It means the person struggles to connect with your emotions and doesn't show genuine concern for your well-being. Empathy is like putting yourself in someone else's shoes to understand their feelings, but when it's absent, the connection becomes one-sided and emotionally distant. 7. Sense of entitlement. People who use others often display a strong sense of entitlement. This means they think they should get special treatment without giving anything in return, and their actions might show they don't appreciate the effort you put into the relationship. Picture having a friend who believes the world owes them special treatment, expecting you to go out of your way for them, without caring about your own needs or feelings. That's what we mean by a sense of entitlement. is like being on a seesaw where one side is always higher, creating an imbalance in the relationship. This imbalance stems from the person feeling entitled to receive without feeling the need to give back. It's crucial to recognize this dynamic because true friendships thrive on mutual respect and consideration, where both sides contribute to creating a balanced and fulfilling connection. 6. Unreliable. Being unreliable is like having a friend who constantly lets you down. They might promise to be there, but when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. Imagine making plans with someone, and they frequently cancel at the last minute or fail to follow through on commitments. That's unreliability. It means you can't depend on the person to be consistent or keep their word. It's like building on shaky ground. The foundation is not strong enough to support a reliable and trustworthy relationship. As Warren Buffett once wisely stated, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. This reminds us that reliability is a cornerstone of a good reputation, and in relationships, consistency is key to building trust and maintaining a strong connection. 5. One-sided conversations. In meaningful relationships, conversations involve a healthy exchange of ideas and emotions. If you find that your interactions are predominantly one-sided, with the other person dominating conversations and showing little interest in your thoughts, it could be a warning sign. As George Bernard Shaw once said, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. A one-sided conversation is like trying to dance alone. You're making all the moves, but there's no real rhythm or harmony. Imagine talking to someone, and it feels like you're doing all the talking, while the other person is just nodding or responding with brief, disinterested replies. It means there's an imbalance in the exchange of thoughts and emotions, where your words seem to fall on deaf ears. In a healthy conversation, there's a flow, a back and forth where both parties contribute, but in a one-sided interaction, it's as if your words are echoing in an empty room. 4. Conditional support. Conditional support in a friendship can be likened to having a companion who is present for you solely when it suits their needs, attaching strings to their encouragement and assistance. Imagine leaning on a friend during your triumphs or tribulations, only to discover that their encouragement is a calculated response based on self-interest. This dynamic turns friendship into a transactional exchange, where support becomes a commodity with strings attached. In other words, the person extends help or cheers you on only when it serves their own agenda, rather than being a reliable source of encouragement, regardless of the circumstances. These relationships lack the genuine and consistent backing that forms the cornerstone of a healthy and enduring friendship, creating an atmosphere where trust struggles to take root and authenticity is overshadowed by the conditional nature of the support. In navigating the landscape of friendships, recognizing and fostering connections built on mutual trust and unwavering support becomes imperative for cultivating lasting and meaningful relationships. 3. Superficial interest. Someone who is using you may only express interest in specific aspects of your life that serve their agenda. They might seem indifferent to your passions, dreams, or personal struggles, as these elements do not contribute to their own objectives. Superficial interest is like having a friend who's only interested in the parts of your life that serve their own needs. It's when someone pays attention to you only when it's convenient for them or when they can gain something. Imagine sharing your passions, dreams, or struggles with someone, and they nod along without genuine curiosity or care. That's superficial interest. It means the person is only focused on the surface-level aspects of your life that directly contribute to their goals, without investing in a deeper understanding of who you are. 2. Emotional distance. An unmistakable emotional gap serves as a warning sign in any relationship. Emotional distance is akin to having a friend right there with you, yet it feels like they are emotionally light years away. Picture sharing something personal, and instead of warmth or empathy, you receive a response that's cold and indifferent. Think about reaching out to someone and finding their reaction devoid of genuine emotional connection or understanding. That's the essence of emotional distance, where an invisible barrier impedes the exchange of deep, meaningful feelings and thoughts. It's comparable to attempting to bridge a gap that, rather than closing, seems to widen over time. As the saying goes, the most basic and powerful way to connect to another person is to listen. Just listen. Perhaps the most important thing we ever give each other is our attention. In the context of emotional distance, this quote emphasizes the significance of genuine emotional connection and attentive listening in fostering meaningful relationships. 1. Selective availability. Selective availability in a relationship is like having a friend who's only around when they need something from you. Imagine you have a friend who calls or texts only when they want a favor or help, but they're nowhere to be found when you need them. That's selective availability. It means the person is choosing when to be there for you based on their own needs, rather than being a consistent and supportive presence in your life. It's like having a fair-weather friend who only shows up when the sun is shining. A healthy relationship involves mutual give and take, not a one-sided dynamic. Steer clear of the friend who only approaches you when they have a need, vanishing without a trace once their requirement is met, and conveniently absent when you seek their support. These individuals shouldn't be labeled as friends. Instead, they are opportunists lacking moral integrity. To conclude, recognizing these key attributes can help you identify whether someone in your life is using you without genuine care. It's essential to set boundaries and prioritize relationships that contribute positively to your well-being. Surrounding yourself with individuals who reciprocate care and respect is vital for fostering healthy, meaningful connections.